G'day guys, my name's Ashley Shuttleworth and I'm coming to you tonight live from the Gold Coast. So a little bit about myself. Years ago, well not that long ago actually, probably 5 years ago, I started my little journey, and so far it's taken me on an amazing sort of quest, self-discovery and learning a lot about myself. But before that, I was really sort of in a bit of a rut. I like to party a lot. I enjoyed going out all the time and having a lot of fun. So financially, I was pretty stagnant. My health wasn't the best, and I really had no direction on sort of where my life was going. So it wasn't until probably about 5 years ago that I got introduced to a network marketing company called Your Health, and that literally changed my life. The training and the self-development inside that company is absolutely amazing, and it's really led me in this path. And without that company and the people I've met within that company, I'd probably still be exactly where I was before. So along my journey so far, I've learned a lot of little tips and tricks, and I've learned some things myself. And tonight I've put together a little bit of a PowerPoint on a couple of those bits and pieces, and just a touch on what I want to share with you is momentum. So let me just share my screen with you guys so you can see what I'm talking about, and we can get started. Well, question I want to ask you is, have you ever thought how momentum controls the vitality of life? Now just think about that for a second. Momentum and how it can control the vitality of life. You're probably thinking, what is he going on about? Well, let me get into it. So when I talk about momentum, I want to touch on a few things as well. What is momentum? I want to know what the attitude and why it means so much, results and how they become, and gratitude as well. So when I think about momentum, there's a few little words that pop into my head. Momentum, speed, motion, constant movement, and it maintains the vitality of life. Because with all these things that just come up out of my mind at the top of my head, I just want to elaborate a little bit more on that. So speed, it's an acceleration. You know, the speed that you have propels you through life. So just look at that picture for a moment and just think about it. So you want to accelerate to a comfortable speed. You want to get to a certain point and you feel comfortable. And then you want to increase your speed, increase your momentum a little bit more. And it feels a little bit uncomfortable at first, but after a while you'll get used to it and you'll feel comfortable again. As soon as you feel comfortable, you need to increase that speed again. You'll feel uncomfortable again, but once you get that momentum happening, you become comfortable. So you have to keep maintaining your speed, increasing your momentum, and keep going and going and going all through life. Because what happens is when we get to a certain point and we get comfortable for too long, that's when we feel too comfortable, we fall into a rut, and we just maintain at that speed. And you've always heard this, we're like sharks. If we stop moving forward, we die. Now you can relate that to your speed as well. If you stop increasing your speed, if you stop moving momentarily forward, you're going to slowly die. You're going to stay stagnant. And we're meant to grow. This is what our life's about. Our life's meant to grow. So we're adjusting people. Like our lives will adjust. Our human bodies will actually adjust. So if you increase that speed, we're going to get used to it. It's just a way of life. So motion, it's a consistent movement. Now I like this. I like the meaning here. The action or process of moving or being moved. Now just look at that picture for a second. That motion of movement, that whole flow, the range of movement there, it's taken a few shots to get that, but they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. If you just look at that picture for a moment and just think about how that means to you, you can just write that down as well, because I guarantee to a lot of people it will mean a lot of different things. But that just goes to show, because I'm a visual person, I like to see things for myself. One thing I want to touch on is Newton's first law of motion. An object in motion will remain in motion until it's acted upon by an external force. Now, when Newton came up with this, he was relating to outer space, where there's absolutely no atmosphere at all. So an object in space will continue to travel in a direction. Its motion will continue and maintain its motion because there's no atmosphere, there's nothing to hold it back. It will continue to go until it actually hits something or something actually moves it, like gravity or anything like that. So what you want to do is you want to actually eliminate all external forces so you can maintain and remain in constant motion. So you can relate that to anything in life, really. So if you're in motion, if you're going towards a goal, if you're going towards an objective, that's your motion, that's your direction. Now, there's a lot of external forces that are involved. I'm going to touch on these external forces a little bit later, but I want to show you as well that you really have to concentrate and focus on eliminating those external forces, because they're gonna put you off track to where you want to go. So what are the external forces I'm talking about? Well, this is you towards a goal, towards a result. External forces could be anything. Bad memories or experiences, could be someone's comments, past challenges you've had. Limiting beliefs. Now, this is a huge thing. Limiting beliefs, they're literally putting a lid on where you want to go. And this next one, past failures. You can look at this two ways. So you can look at them as a limiting belief, as a limiting external force, because it's a failure. But I like to think of them as a learning curve. So what you can take from that past failure is what you can take forward with you and learn from those failures. There's also your kryptonite. Now, this could be anything. This could be something as simple as chocolate. If you want to get to a fitness goal and chocolate your kryptonite, you have to eliminate that chocolate, because if you want to get a result fitness-wise, chocolate is definitely going to hold you back. I know that myself, because chocolate is my kryptonite too. Negative thoughts, guys. Negative thoughts are probably one of the biggest things that will externally force your direction to go somewhere else, because you can talk yourself out of anything if you really want. Influences from other people are huge as well, because how many times have you tried to do something or say something in a group and someone's influenced you otherwise? It happens to us all. So if you really want to get somewhere, if you really want to achieve that goal, you have to eliminate these forces. Naysayers. There's so many naysayers out there. You know, they're just everywhere, especially these days in the media. There's naysayers everywhere. People want to put their 2 cents in no matter what they're talking about. Family and friends. Now, family and friends, they can be your best friends. They can be the best thing that helps you go through anything in life, but they can also hold you back as well. It all depends on the relationship you have with your family and friends. And this is a touchy subject, because a lot of people, they love their friends, they love their family, and depends on what they want to do. They can really hold you back in some respects, but they're also to support you as well. So with my experiences with family and friends, you just have to be really clear on exactly what your goal is. So if your family and friends understand where you want to go and why you're doing it, then they're going to be behind you 100%. And if your friends aren't going to be there behind you, going, like, helping you get to where you want to go, then a question to ask yourself is, are they really your friend? You know, a wise man once told me, you can really count your 5 best friends on one hand. And if you can do that, you're a lucky man. And that is so true. Future challenges. These things don't even exist. And sometimes we make them up. We make up future challenges in our head. Sometimes we can see them though. Sometimes we know they're coming because they are a physical challenge. But it's about how you can actually put yourself into a position to best suit your challenges. So you just have to eliminate all these guys, because other people's opinions help as well. Now, attitude. Attitude is huge. I like the way that they pronounce that, attitude. It's pretty funny. I thought that was pretty funny from back in the day of primary school, reading the way you sound it out, because it's just another way of learning. So an attitude, a settled way of thinking or feeling about something. I like this. Your attitude is like a price tag. It shows how valuable you are. Now, that is so true. I like to put my attitude, my positive attitude, towards a lot of my, if not all of my successes in life. I've had a positive attitude, and people always say, "Man, I love your attitude about that. That's amazing. How do you do that?" It's just what determines your direction. It determines how you achieve your results, and this is what controls the vitality of life. Your attitude is so important. I'd rather like to meet and be around people with a good attitude that aren't so clever rather than people that are extremely smart and have the wrong attitude, have a bad attitude. Just think about that. How many people do you know that are so smart and their attitude is completely off topic? You listen to what they're talking about, you're like, man, I don't like that guy's attitude. You just don't like something about that person. It's because of the attitude, they just don't resonate with you. People's attitude has a lot to do with how valuable they are. You just got to ask yourself, is your attitude aligned with your values? Here's a little something for you guys. So attitude. So A is number 1 in the alphabet. As you go through, T is number 20. I, 9, T again, U, D, E. There we go. So if you add them all up, this is what happens, 100%. So guys, your attitude is 100% of your result. If you don't have the right attitude towards anything in life, then if and when you get there, is it really worth it? The people that you've burnt, the people that you've misplaced, everything that's happened, the attitude that follows you through, is that really the person you want to be? So your attitude is 100%. Guys, results. To get to a result, you don't get results by focusing on the result. You get results by focusing on the actions that produce results. Now that is so true, because let's just say you're at A and you want to get to Z or Z, depending on how you want to pronounce it. So there's so many other letters in between A and Z that you need to get and check out, because there's so many different experiences, and the whole reason to get into a result is the journey. Learning everything along the way is the fun. The process. If you can't learn to love the process, then what's the point in getting to the result? It's like playing a game on the PlayStation or the Xbox or whatever. You get the cheats, and you can punch the cheats in. You can get where you want to be. You can get to the end faster. But the whole purpose of playing the game is to enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. So you've got to really focus on the actions that produce the results to get the result. So you need to begin with a goal. So that's A. And you really need to set a plan and execute immediately. Because if you just simmer on a plan, if you get something, you go, cool, this is my plan, I want to do this. And you go, no worries, I'm going to do that probably, I'm going to start in a week or 2 weeks. The importance and the energy that you've put into that plan is going to slowly diminish over time. So you really need to execute on that plan immediately. And that's what helps create momentum, that immediate execution. You need to also adopt good habits. So whether it be you wake up in the morning and you start with your morning ritual, or you go for a run, anything to do that's going to be a positive habit towards your values and your goals, which adds up to a result, you need to adopt these good habits. You also need to monitor your attitude as well. Remember before, the attitude is 100%. You just need to keep checking your attitude, making sure it's directly in line with your values. You always have to listen twice as much as you speak. Guys, we've got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. If you're not a good listener, how are you going to know how to communicate with people? People talk all the time, but I don't think people listen very much. So many times I've been in a conversation with someone and I'm thinking, did that person even understand or hear what I just said? I'm sure you've been in that same situation before, but guys, this is so important. You have to listen to people. It's so, so important. You really have to align your values with your actions. So guys, if I really wanted to show this presentation tonight, do you reckon me going out chasing Pokemon would be aligning my values with my actions? I don't think so. Or with me going and get drunk with a couple of my mates, would those actions align with my values of actually doing this PowerPoint tonight? Probably not. So you really have to align your values and your actions together, because it depends on how bad you want that result. You can put it off as long as you want, but like I said before, if you don't execute immediately on that plan, put everything into action immediately, the weight and the gravity behind that result and that plan is going to be diminished. It's going to diminish. So you really got to make the most of what you have. Some people say, okay, I'm going to do this when I get here. I'm going to want to get when I lose a couple of extra kilos, then I'm going to do it. when I finally finish this, and when I finally do something, I'm going to go do it then. Why wait? You've got everything you need right now. Why wait before it's going to be too late then? You have to do it immediately. The best thing, guys, is you need to believe in yourself. You've got all these ideas, all these emotions, all these things going on in yourself. They're your beliefs. They're your ideas. You have to believe in your own intuition. It's yours. Your fingerprints, the same thing as your own ideas. You have to believe in yourself. Gratitude, guys. Gratitude is huge. I just want to touch on this a little bit because this one picture, it says so many things. Be grateful. Gratitude, life, appreciate every day. Be good, thankful, give, truly, wonderful. There's so many words in there, guys, and they resonate with every single one of you differently. But gratitude is so important. If you can't be grateful, if you can't appreciate what you have, if you can't appreciate and be grateful for where you're going and everything that everyone's done for you, then it's going to make it a lot harder in life. Like myself personally, I'm really grateful for everything I've got. I'm grateful for where I live. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my friends and family. I'm grateful for the relationships I've got. I'm grateful for the job I've got. I'm grateful for being able to grow up and live in Australia. You know, there's so many other places in the world that are so less fortunate than us. I'm so grateful for that opportunity. There's so many other people out there that have got it worse than you. So you just have to be really grateful for those things. You know, you've got all your arms and legs. If you're not, you know, you're able to move around. You know, there's people out there that can't even do that, and they're grateful for things. So why can't you be grateful for the small things that people take for granted? Momentum, guys. Just want to touch on momentum again because this is what it's all about. So struggles, challenges, and problems require extra effort. So an increased load times increased effort equals maintained momentum. So let's just imagine you're the truck, and up the hill there's a challenge or there's a problem. So what most people do is they hit that problem, they get to that challenge, they get to the hill, and they start to slow down. They slow down. Just imagine if that truck got halfway up the hill and lost all of its momentum and stopped, completely stopped. So the handbrake's on, no momentum at all. They're not going forwards, they're not going backwards. Imagine how much effort that car's engine has to go through to, once you release the handbrake and build momentum, start moving again. That truck weighs a lot, and it's going to take a lot more energy to get going again. And then once it's going, it's going to be a lot easier to keep going. It's going to be a lot easier for it to keep this momentum happening. So just think about that. When you are the truck and you're going towards a goal at the top of the hill, you're going towards a result, and something comes up, a struggle, a challenge, any little problem that you might face, you know, are you going to stop at that problem? Are you going to stop at that challenge? Are you going to go put the handbrake on it at anything you're struggling at and just think about it for so long and just wait? Because the amount of energy that's required to get going again is far greater than if you just keep on moving. Just keep on moving. You might have to drop it back from third to second. You might have to go from second to third, but you have to keep moving. You have to keep maintaining your momentum. Otherwise, you're just going to get exhausted. Imagine if you stop 3, 4, 5 times up that hill. Imagine how exhausted you're going to be at the top of the hill. The trick is, do not stop. Have you ever thought how momentum controls the vitality of life? This is huge, guys. Momentum is huge. Something to really think about. Now, guys, I just want to leave you with this. A goal is not always meant to be reached. It often serves simply as something to aim at. Guys, I like to think of this. If you're an archer or you're at a gallery, a shooting gallery, and you've got just an open field, you've got nothing to shoot at, you've got no targets at all. You've got this gun, you've got this bow and arrow, whatever, and you're just like, yeah, shoot here, shoot there, bang, bang. You're just shooting. You're not aiming for anything. You're not getting anywhere. You know, you shoot the board to get points. But if you put a goal there, if you put something to aim at, a target, something to actually aim for, then you're going to actually get, even if you don't hit the bullseye, even if you don't hit that target, you're going to get closer, because before that was there, you had nothing to aim for. It's so important to actually aim for something. Guys, thanks for listening. I really appreciate you being there. Hopefully you got something out of it as well, and look forward to a few more of these coming up in the future, guys. Enjoy.